Good morning, my friends. How are we doing? It's Friday. It's Fresh Fridays. And I hope everyone is feeling okay this morning. Lots of stuff to talk about today. Bandcamp Day. And of course, there's going to be loads of new music for us to discuss as well. I'm going to get into everything in a few minutes. I'm going to kick off with this one. Lucent's 132 edit of Hive Mungo by Joy Orbison. Amazing tune, this one. Don't go anywhere. Lovely flavours on this one. Sound of Lucent with his refix of Hive Mungo by Joy Orbison. It's getting some shares out there, as you can see. I'm frantically clicking away. And yeah, we're going to get into the show in just a second. Now to all my early morning locked in crew. Let us know where you're listening in from. It's Fresh Fridays. Oh, yes. That's what I'm talking about. Sounds of Lucent on that one. His refix of Hive Mungo by Joy Orbison. I believe he dropped that one as a free download yesterday, so you can go and grab it if you haven't already got hold of it. Good morning, friends, and welcome to the show. We are live on Cubcam TV. This is Brekky In The Cave, and it's Fresh Fridays, our Friday show where we run through all the latest music, all the latest news that's been floating around the internet, and of course looking into football news as well. Dukey will be joining me, I think, from around 25 past today. We were meant to have a guest on, but I haven't been able to get a hold of them over the last couple of days, so I'm going to assume they're not going to be joining us this morning. If I get a phone call randomly, then we'll jump into the conversation for a bit, but for the time being, from what I can see, we aren't going to be having a guest today. It's going to be a sort of in-house special sort of way of doing things. Now, this is what I'm learning to do more and more in life. When something doesn't go the way you want it to, you try to utilize it, you know? You try to turn it into something different. We've never had a show on this on this platform, just me and Dukey. We've never done it, so I think this might be a good opportunity to see how it works, see how the back and forth works and everything like that. You know, we've obviously been doing shows together now for nearly 2 years, so it's we know it's going to work. It'd just be quite interesting to see how it works in this format. Obviously, we normally do Fresh Fridays over on Trickstar Radio, which we will have some very good news for you about very soon. I had a nice call yesterday with the Trickstar team, and it was very enjoyable to hear about all the new things that are getting put in place. So there we go, looking good for the future. But for the time being, what I want to say is let us know where you're listening in from. If you are looking in live this morning, please do leave a message in the chat box. Just drop in, say hi, just say hello. That's all I'd like to see, just a little hello in the darkness. That'd be nice. But yeah, we're going to be looking through all of the new releases that have dropped on on different platforms this morning. A little sneak peek at the tracks we are going to be taking a peek at there. You can see we've got some new Lynn, some new Alika, some new Yemi and Tough Culture, some Izzy Gibbs, some Micro Boy in there as well, some Ambush Buzzworld. We've got some Nadia Rose, some Daddy Freddy, some SBK, and some Joshua as well. So the listing is going to be amazing to get through. It's a really good selection of different types of tunes, different genres, different flavors, and to be honest with you, I can't wait to get into our reviews of those. Also, we are going to be looking at the new Premier League fixture list, which did drop last night, so me and Dukey are going to be dissecting that. Also looking at what channels the different ones are on, looking at how important different games are. And I believe they've only released the first kind of month of fixtures, which there's about 100 fixtures in there. It's ridiculous how much they've crammed in. But we are going to be looking at that, and of course looking at any other music news as well. So do keep it locked. If it's your first time locking in, please do hit that subscribe button. We are trying to hit 500 by the official end of lockdown on this channel, so when we go back to Trickstar Radio, we have a nice, solid, legitimate platform which we can do interviews from, and we can do loads of different bits here and there. Out to everyone who caught the Cave Talk podcast yesterday as well, with man like Mac 10. Really, really cool conversation. Obviously talking to a bit of a grime legend in Mac. He's obviously one of these people that's been around since, we discussed yesterday, 23 years he's been involved in the UK scene, so it was really, really cool to kind of sit down, look at his kind of like then and now comparisons and everything like that, and you can check that up on the channel or via the podcast. It was around a 40-minute conversation, I think, in the end, so nice solid long block of discussion. Really good stuff there. The other thing I wanted to bring up as well is that we do have a South Point release dropping today, and this one is something that's very, very important indeed, so I would recommend you go and grab it if you can. As a release, this one is our Black Lives Matter release. Now, we've put together an 11-track compilation on moderately short notice, pretty much just pulling together tracks that we think would really, really work in context, and this is a release essentially with all the proceeds that hit it on Bandcamp Day going directly to Black Lives Matter related charities. So we're really, really proud of the release we've put together. We want to make sure we can do as much good as possible. Obviously, obviously you may have seen on the channel, we're putting out a lot more kind of articles and showcasing obviously a lot more of sort of the black musical influence on the genres that we work in. Obviously they are black genres at the end of the day, and to kind of not shout about that is what we've done for too long, and we've kind of looked at it and gone, we're not really happy with how little we've been doing. So this is the first step of many in regards to releases that we're going to be putting out there to kind of to try and do our bit, you know. That's what we're trying to do. So yeah, there's 11 tracks on there. It's an absolutely banging track list, if I do say so myself. I'm going to try and bring the track list up in front of me now, because it's a wavy selection. There's some bangers on there. There's no excuse not to go and grab it. I think if it's loading up on my screen now, you should be able to see. Well, I can see it, you can't. You've got some Dave's Prism on there, some Bush Baby, Dubster, Hamdi, Movement, Dunman, Drumwork, Weagle, Devious, myself, and Mood. Mooney. So we've got some real South Point heavy hitters on there. I'd really recommend going and checking out the release. Even if you can only grab one and you can only afford one of the tunes, it's going to a very necessary cause right now. So that's what I would recommend. Let's get into some more music, though. That's what we're here to do this morning. Jump into some bangers. Let's jump into this one coming from Pastor Lou. Been running this one the past couple of weeks. This one goes by the name of Betty. What a banger it is. We're live on Cubcan TV. It's Brekky In The Cave. It's just gone. It's just gone to first break. Not going to do timings anymore. Getting lost with that because it throws people off when we're listening to the podcast. So I'm going to stop doing timings. But yeah, Duke's Guy joins me shortly.
On a pig and that violate who tryna flee and flee and that I was slinging packs, I just need $1 million cash, I just need $1 million cash. How many get stash? Beta I spray then dash. Oh for the money and that what a blow cloud fuck many skins get bust. Oh face off black dumpers on dingas go ski and that. They like king them frost. Pull up on your then blast. Did the dirt then scare off. Did the dirt then skirt off. They ain't did it like me. They ain't did it like me. Dirty Betty, they ain't better than she. Bow, they ain't better than she. Bow, they ain't better than she. They ain't did it like me. They ain't did it like me. Dirty Betty, they ain't better than she. Bow, they ain't better than she. Bow, they ain't better than she. I done seen a couple things, yeah. Up in this lifestyle, serving all these fiends. We just tryna eat right, mama, she righteous. I came from greatness, I need my cake up. One of them they didn't lay shade, they didn't wake up. They'd rather drink up, I pray my niggas change. Money times I'm sly, yeah, all I know is patience. Oh, I deserve it, how many sleepless nights put in work, yeah. Tryna hit the belly like it's dominoes. Solving all these bitches like it's dominoes. I ain't with the drama, this ain't Hollyoaks. Fly out with this pat like dominoes. They ain't did it like me. They ain't did it like me. Dirty Betty, they ain't better than she. Bow, they ain't better than she. Bow, they ain't better than she. They ain't did it like me. They ain't did it.
This one is such a banger, you know. Passaloo, this one, Betty. You can check my review of this one over on Cubcan TV.
Better than she. They spray, everyone dash. Turbo's long. They spray, everybody dash. What I say, baby, do now.
Lovely stuff on that one. Coming from Passaloo, how are we doing this morning, my friends? We've done our sort of intro updates. It's good to see you all looking in this morning. Obviously, this is it's going to be the first time we run this show completely solo with just the two of us, apart from the first almost pilot show that we ran, well, seems like forever ago now. We've been doing this this platform for so long, and it's looking like we're going to be carrying on doing this this YouTube sort of setup from home until August, at which point that's when it's looking like we're going to be having the conversation about going back to Trickstar, because we want to keep it safe. You know, that's my main priority at the moment is safety more than anything else, making sure that we are able to carry on giving you like good radio shows and good entertainment, but making sure we are doing things safely as well. Obviously, now we've kind of found this YouTube platform in as a way to kind of promote the show and kind of do things differently. We will be continuing to do the YouTube streams for the breakfast show. That's something I'm very intent on doing and very keen on carrying on. So we're going to be carrying on doing that when we go back to Trickstar. But for the time being, obviously, we're going to be based here in my room. And to be honest, I don't really mind rolling over out of bed and jumping onto the and more than anything else, jumping onto the show. It's quite enjoyable. It's a good way to start the day, I find. But anyway, let's crack on then. Let's have a little look-see at what we've got in the bag news-wise. Obviously, we're going to be looking at a more specific set of information a little bit later on. We're going to be looking into the Premier League scores and not the scores, the upcoming tracks and everything that's going to be on there, and upcoming fixtures. What am I on about? I'm getting everything doubled up today. But yeah, interesting stuff. Obviously, we've tried to cover as much news as possible on this show, and this week has been the first time I've ever really spoken on anything that could be classed as political. Obviously, what's going on right now in regards to the protesting and everything that's going on in the name of George Floyd, it's not political anymore. It's a matter of life and death for a lot of people. So it's very much a case of doing doing everything we can, as far as I'm aware. And if I'm not using this platform, then I wouldn't feel like we were doing enough to even begin with. To be honest with you, we're not doing enough as it is. But there we go. Let's have a look at this then. There's the news that a new socially distanced music venue is opening up in London for our friends up the road. A socially distanced music venue is opening up in London later this year. This comes to us from DJ Mag. One Night Records, set to launch in October, will serve as an immersive music event and venue with all aspects of One Night Records designed to adhere to social distancing guidelines. It's getting more and more common, this. According to the website, masks must be worn at all times on site. Increased ventilation has been built into the venue, and drinks and food will be ordered from a drive-through. So that's interesting. So I don't know how you're going to have to... You can't drive in a club, so I'm assuming you're going to have to... I don't know. Is it like a manual walkthrough? I don't know. I've genuinely no idea, and I'm interested. Located at a secret address at London Bridge, the entrance to the venue is through hidden tunnels, and the first production will be titled Lockdown Town. Okay, I'm with it. Visitors will be given staggered time slots, and tickets can be purchased in sets of 4 with live music, food, and drink included at that price. Find out more about One Night Records, which will run from October the 2nd to December the 31st, and you can purchase tickets online via their website. But there we go. Obviously, this follows the news that we've seen a similar thing happening over in Amsterdam. So it is quite interesting to kind of look at how many people are kind of adopting this idea of doing socially distanced clubbing. And for me, I've always found the thing of clubbing is the fact you're around people. It's always a little bit weird when we see these events. Because clubbing's always about being around people. You know, when you go to a club and it's half empty, the vibe always feels a little bit weird. And obviously that's going to be the new normal for the time being, until people are able to go back into clubs at a more kind of larger scale. But it's just quite an interesting thing to imagine going into a club and being like, it being a normal that there not being that many people there. I mean, obviously, whenever I play a dance, it's completely packed. I'm joking. I'm being sarcastic, my friends. But obviously, you kind of want a packed out dance. That's where the energy comes from. You get that kind of almost, to an extent, that almost tribal energy of everyone doing the same thing at the same time. It's almost like ritualistic in the way. You kind of are all staring towards a DJ and you're all moving in time at the same time. There's an energy and a power in that. But obviously, it's going to be different when you're when everything's going to be socially distanced. It's going to be interesting to see how it develops and how it kind of looks when everyone is in that specific scenario. But there we go. Let's have a little look then at what we've got next, music-wise. We've been playing a fair bit of Marissy the last couple of weeks, and we haven't been playing his newer single. We've been playing the older tune, so I'm going to jump into this one now. Really like this one. This is West Baby. We're live on Cubcam TV right now, so out to everyone locked in. Please do send us a signal. Let us know where you're listening in from. Let us know if you're enjoying the music. Let us know if you are enjoying the show in general. If there's any news articles you'd like me to kind of talk through and have a look at, that'd be really, really cool, because I'm quite dry on news this morning, I've got to say. Obviously I was expecting to have a guest up until the very start of the show, so obviously now looking at it, there isn't as much available news-wise as I thought. So if anyone has noticed any interesting bits of news, please do send it over to me, and I'll have a little scoot through and have a little look-see. But for the time being, let's get into this one. As I said, coming from Marissy, this one is West Baby. Don't go anywhere, guys. We're live on Cubcam TV. It's Brekky In The Cave, and Duke Sky will be joining me very shortly.
In a world of more division, no wisdom, too many isms. Corrupted systems are always full on us, the victims. With trust, cause this is just the world that we're living in. There is no moral compass and no country has a bigger sin. Except for the West, maybe, not me, even though I'm a West baby. Living in this Babylon, you know it gets crazy. That's why we bun herbs and we get wavy. 4936 nil, we just chill. Bill Yard, Bill Zola, been all ill will. 4936 nil, we just chill. Bill Yard, Bill Zola, been all ill will. Late nights at the cemetery gates, just trying to read the future. You can either be a winner or you'll be a loser. I'm not trying to be a worm, I'm trying to be a rooster. Making new music on an old computer, cause time keeps rushing and wondering will I get there. I rest barely and sometimes it gets scary. I have to remind myself I'm blessed or I'm stressed out, I get low. Breathe in and let go and let's go. Small things make the biggest difference. Take it step by step and make it bigger and bigger until you get that check. I'm still in the rat race, I haven't left that yet. And I'll always have faith so I can bet my death. In the West maybe Africa, but still I am a West baby. Living in this Babylon, you know it gets crazy. That's why we bun herbs and we get wavy. 4936 nil, we just chill. Bill Yard, Bill Zola, been all ill will. 4936 nil, we just chill. Bill Yard, Bill black mamba, blues and the stanza, two juicing. Take me back to Fubu and Bluetooth, Alizé blue in the alleyway with my dude Rude. Trying to find the next party a long time before Polo and Ed Hardy. When everything mattered but it didn't really. Now life has the pattern, got the vision clearly. In the West they seek fortune and a couple big ladies. Living in this Babylon I just want stability. That's why I bun urban, I deal with synergy.
Stunning stuff on this one coming from Marissi. Smooth music here on the Breakfast Show this morning. We're going to jump into one more bit quickly and then have a little chat with man like Duke Sky, because obviously he's our guest this morning. And I always say whenever he comes on the show that he's going to be our special guest today. And then obviously we have another guest on. But today, Dukey really is our special guest. And I couldn't be happier, to be honest with you. Very interesting guy. Let's have a little discussion about Dukey. Now, I met Dukey. Being honest, I met him around 4 years ago at this point. It was quite an interesting story. I actually met him. He was emceeing for Pav's show on Trickstar Radio. I know, and we got into a bit of a conversation. I asked him to do a bit of a dub for me for a Clash competition I was in, and then he ended up coming to record at mine on a regular basis. He became a South Point show resident, and then obviously he ended up being on Trickstar with me, and we ended up doing shows together on quite a regular basis. And since then, it's been great. We obviously look at loads of stuff together. We work for a fair few of the same companies in regards to the different releases we're doing, in regards to doing loads of different bits, to be honest with you. So it's really entertaining and kind of cool to look at as we kind of go forward with these different projects. It's fun, man. It's fun to meet people doing projects that you enjoy at the same time. If you know, I've always found that enjoyable. Having friends in your kind of industry, I think, is essential, and making friends in your industry is also essential. But there we go. Interesting bit of news I found here as I've been scrolling through. A third of Brits say broadband performance is worse during lockdown. A third of people say they've experienced worse internet performance during the coronavirus lockdown, despite suggestions from broadband providers that they have been largely held up against the surge in demand. According to a YouGov survey, 28% have noticed their internet connection has become slightly worse than usual, while 7% said it was much worse. That comes as three quarters, revealed they were going to be more online, more heavily, essentially, as the nation attempts to work from home, carry out school remotely, or simply keep in touch with loved ones over the course of the pandemic. 7 in 10, that's 69%. Is it? It's not. It's 69 out of 100. It's not 7 in 10. But of people experienced connectivity issues and said it affected their general online activities, followed by a streaming of 67% video calls and 59% of work-related tasks. But there we go. It's interesting because I've actually found my internet, because I'll be honest though, I changed my internet connection during this period we've been away. We went from a really trash one to a really good one. So I've actually found during this period of time my internet's got a lot better, but I've been used to having such trash internet for like so many years that I don't know, I haven't really noticed it. But something I've found quite interesting about this whole scenario is people who kind of work on the internet at work, they're still on the internet. So I don't really understand why them working from home would make it surge. I can understand people not being at work and therefore having less to do and therefore being on the internet. But I don't really understand how working from home would actually put a surge on the internet if you work on the internet anyway. You know, it doesn't really make sense because it's the same amount of time on the internet just from a different place. But that's my thoughts on it. But it's interesting to see that so many people have said that it's been worse for them. I mean, there's been periods where it's been worse. I think it's Is it Talk or BT? One of them, or Virgin. It might be Virgin actually that have had a couple of absolute meltdowns over the last few weeks, and it's just completely cut out. And obviously, right now having no internet is not ideal. So yeah, there we go. Nice, interesting bit of news there. We're going to jump into one more tune before we get onto a phone call with Dukey, as we jump into a bit of a discussion about the Premier League, the new fixtures, music in general, and a few other bits. So we're going to get into this one. This one dropped from us last week. It comes from Movement and Baloo. Goes by the name of Peach Gardens. As I said before, please do make sure you are checking out the brand new Black Lives Matter release over on the South Point Bandcamp. All proceeds will be going to BLM related charities, and yeah, and we're trying to start doing our bit because there's no way on earth we have been doing our bit. This is the way we're starting things off. There's going to be a lot more though, so don't go anywhere. to the 3000 bass crew. How are we doing this morning, my friends? Out to man like Papa D as well. Of course, let us know where you're listening in from, my friends. These are unsociable times, but let's keep things sociable through this wonderful thing we call the internet. Friends, we're live on Cubcam TV. It's Brekky in the Cave. It's warming up this morning. It's Fresh Fridays. It's loads of flipping things. And Duke's guys on the line. How you doing this morning, my friend?
Bringing that energy. Yeah, I'm good, mate. How are you?
I'm good, sir. I'm good. Obviously, it's been a bit of a heavy week. The last couple of weeks have been quite heavy weeks, to be honest with you. But yeah.
To say the least.
Yeah, you know what? This morning I'm feeling okay. I'm trying to turn positives into negatives and everything along those lines. Out to JD Samdi joining us out in the chat. As I said before, if you are looking in for the first time, hit that subscribe button. Drop us a message in the chat. This is a very open show. We like to talk to our friends. We like to talk to our guests, the people who join us in the chat. We're very inclusive, obviously, and you know what? Just for that, we're going to hit with glass smash because we've got them now. We've got glass smashes, and we also have the ratings in this time. Obviously, we've been talking for ages about getting sound effects for the for Fresh Fridays. We actually have them in the system this week, so I'm very excited about that, purely because it means we're going to get to try so many different things.
Exactly. Yeah, it's always fun when you have new noises to play with.
New noises, new tools, new fun. It's new toys. It's brilliant. But yeah, obviously we've got a few things to talk about. We're going to firstly be looking at these Premier League fixtures. So if you are a football fan, this is for you. If you're not, the next 10 minutes may not be the best, but we're going to crack on with it anyway.
Just pretend for the next however long. Just pretend you're a football fan.
Just pretend and get involved with it, because we've seen the first set of Premier League fixtures for the restart of the season to be announced, which is great news.
Yes, that is good news. It's starting to feel very real.
Yeah,
it's all coming back.
It's quite mad how now I'm seeing the fixtures. I'm excited. Like last week, I was a bit like, oh, okay, fair enough. But now I've seen them, I'm like, ooh.
Well, so what have we got? What have we got coming up then? I know the first day. Well, actually, I don't even know the other fixture. I know there's two fixtures on the first day of return. One being Arsenal v Man City, and that was where I stopped reading.
I was gonna say, if you're an Arsenal fan, is that what you want? That's not what you really want as the return, is it? Like after all this time.
No, City away first up, but I don't know. Maybe it could be the best time that we're ever going to get to play City, because they're going to be all out of sorts. There's no crowd.
Yeah, well, it's interesting.
Hopefully Guardiola's still got a bit of sangria in his system.
It's gonna be interesting. I think the other fixture is Aston Villa versus Sheffield. I mean, Sheffield are playing for essentially a place in Europe at the moment. I think they're guaranteed a European place in general by the looks of things. But they're playing Villa, who I believe are they're just above relegation, aren't they? They're pretty safe, Villa. Or are they bang in the middle of relegation?
Yeah, I don't think they're pretty safe. Let me bring it up now.
Yeah.
No, I did have a brief look at it yesterday. I didn't realise Bournemouth were in such trouble. No, it goes Norwich down dead last to 21, and we've got Villa on 25.
Oh, so they are
Bournemouth on 27. Yeah.
You know what it is? Yeah. I think it's because I haven't heard much from Villa this season. They haven't really been in the news much. The only thing we've really seen is Jack Grealish going or staying. That's the only thing we've heard about Villa all season.
And the world. Not world record, the league record loss. That was them, wasn't it?
Was that this?
No, that's Southampton.
I was going to say, yeah.
My bad.
But I mean, Villa fans. But I think it's always a funny one with Villa because they're a Premier League team. You know, they've in my eyes they've always been a Premier League team. So you just kind of assume they're going to be in the mid-table somewhere. Yeah. No, I think going back to the older days when they used to have quite the force with Jean Karev and Gabby Agbonlahor up front. Yeah. That was my FIFA team. I think that was FIFA 12 or something, I want to say. Yeah. But yeah, so around those times they definitely had a decent team and they were putting in work. But yeah, now it's for teams like that. I worry for them if they do go down because with them with Grealish and Norwich with Pukki. You're so reliant on that one person, you know, to get you goals and points. So definitely, and they're players that aren't likely to stay. Like they're Premier League players now. You know, they're players that want to be in that top sort of division. Yeah, well, I think Pukki's obviously he's a imported player. He's just going to go wherever. It doesn't really matter to him. But I think Grealish is a Villa boy, so that'd be tough for him. It would be similar situation with Kane if he does end up leaving. Yeah, perhaps won't like me hearing. Wouldn't like hearing me say that, but yeah, I mean, we've obviously we had a big discussion about Harry Kane on the Between the Post podcast, which was quite fun to do actually, and I think we're going to try and keep it up every other week.
Yeah, I think so.
Which we found a format that works for it. So this is almost like a little preview into the sort of thing you can hear on the Between the Post podcast if you are a football fan. But yeah, let's look through the fixtures for the first kind of week. It's looking like we're going Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday every week by the looks of things. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday the second week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday in the third week as well. So June is looking very much like there's a game near enough every other day at the very least.
Nice. Yeah, well, that first week, from the first day, Wednesday, the only day then is that they haven't got football is Thursday, which is my birthday, so I appreciate them leaving me to have my day.
Peace. But yeah, so Wednesday, the first Wednesday back, we've got Villa versus Sheffield United. Second game, we've got Man City versus Arsenal. The games are all staggered as well by the looks of things, which is quite interesting. Like there's very little games doubling up. So if you are a football fan, you can literally pretty much just watch football for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, well, do you think it's going to help the isolation measures being enforced?
You know what? That might be something that's been kind of employed with it. I mean, I can't imagine that's in any way, shape or form what anyone's thinking about at any of these television companies currently. But the fact that you can now, on Saturday, for instance, from 12:30 through till 7:45, there's football all the way through. Sunday, 2-4-7. In the week, from 6 o'clock onwards, there's football all the way through every day.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I think a lot of the people venturing down to Brighton or wherever, breaking these, well, I don't even know if they're rules, guidelines, whatever they are anymore. But I think that a lot of that is down to the fact of sheer boredom. There's literally nothing to do. So I think if you put the nation's favourite sport on the TV screens, a lot of it free to air, I think you're definitely going to be onto a winner. I
think as well I think they've been quite clever with the staggering of it. It almost gives them a bit of a chance to almost reshuffle all the order of games, where they've almost got like not even a mid-season, but a second half kind of reshuffle. They've kind of gone, haha, when can we put the big games? Because we want to make sure they're all spread out.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. And I'm not sure. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they all do fit in, because obviously there was the 3 p.m. blackout that was always enforced over the years on Saturdays, meaning you can't, if any English broadcasters are forbidden from broadcasting from 3 p.m. till, I think it's the 4:30 is the time, and that's obviously to deter people just staying at home and not going to the games and ticket revenue falling, etc. So I think it'll be interesting to see how we adapt to that, being able to watch it all through the Saturday, and then if they try and renege on that.
Yeah, it will be interesting. I mean, there's so many different elements in play when we look at this. There's so many different facts and figures and features of it we have to look into. I mean, we discussed a lot of this, as I said, on the podcast. We were talking about sort of crowds and like how these different things affect you, like obviously the crowd noise and stuff like that. But it's going to be really interesting to see how the games look. I mean, it's going to be, to an extent, it's almost going to be like playing Football Manager on a lower level when there isn't a crowd.
It's going to be, there's a lot of different elements that are going to come into it as well. Like, I think one thing which has been finalised, which wasn't when we did the podcast the other day, was the 5 substitutes thing. Yeah. That has now been confirmed, so you will be allowed 5 substitutes. And, yeah, I mean, the cynic in me will worry that it will be taken advantage of. And obviously there is the thing of big clubs having
much better squads, more than anything else, and bigger,
much more of an advantage.
More than that as well, just larger squads with more non-youth players. I mean, I'm not talking from United's perspective here because our bench is 70% youth players. But when we're looking at like the majority of the other big teams, their benches are all, to an extent, international players.
Oh yeah. You look at City's bench, Chelsea's bench. There's a good 100 million plus worth of talent sitting on the bench there. So no, that's going to lopside the balance somewhat, but what can you do? You know, I think it's all been brought in as preventative measures.
I mean, on the other side though, I'm feeling very glass half full today. I've got to say, in the way I'm looking at things, this may give a lot of the smaller clubs an opportunity, and more than anything else, an excuse to kind of play players that they haven't, like the younger players, they haven't really had a chance to try out yet, purely through the risk factor.
That is definitely an argument you could make, but I would counter that with, if I'm Villa and I'm however many points from safety, and I'm now's not really the time I want to be testing out some youth product.
You know what? I'm a United fan. I've got used to it, sir. Why not test out a youth product? Sell the whole team. Just play youth. Add more youth.
Well, they may end up having to do that, to be honest.
But yeah, I mean, it will be interesting. Let's run for a few more of these fixtures then. So on Friday the 19th, which is 2 weeks today, I believe. Is it 2 weeks today? Yeah, it's 2 weeks today. You have a pretty loaded evening. You've got Norwich versus Southampton at 6 p.m. and then Tottenham versus United at 8 p.m. Which is, I mean,
how are you feeling about that?
Too big. I mean, to be honest, I'm genuinely quite confident in United playing well at the minute. If this was like a start of a new season, I would genuinely be like, okay, we're in a good position to start the season.
Yeah. Is it at the Toilet Bowl as well, or is that Spurs Stadium?
Toilet Bowl.
Mate, look at it from bird's eye view. That is 100%. So they modelled it on the toilet seat.
No, it is. Yeah, it's a Spurs.
That's good. If you lot can turn them over in their backyards in like the first game week of the season, of the season resumption, then yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah, I think it's I think there are the teams that are currently like on the up. I'd say United are definitely one of the teams that currently are on the up. They're like improving as they go, which I feel puts us in a good position at the start of the season. But then everyone's had all the time off. There's going to be fatigue. There's going to be obviously stamina and fitness issues. It's going to be just bizarre to kind of do. And obviously with all the games being crammed together, this is when big squads come in handy. And I think that might actually be the thing that sets United down, because the squad isn't great.
What I really want to know, though, getting to the pressing questions, will you be one of the fans that sends in video of themselves to put on the big screen in the stadium when they score a goal?
Is that happening?
Yeah, that is happening. Yeah, they're going to be showing live. I don't know if they're live or as live as can be, but celebrations from people's houses, I guess, a la the World Cup scenes that you saw when everyone's going nuts in the pubs and that.
Maybe, you know what? I might do it. I might just put like a football background on my display and just have me green screened in front of it, going, yeah. I'll goal bridge it. Fuck it.
Yeah, that's it. But yeah, no, that's another thing to see what these new features that they've been talking about when they're eventually all unveiled, what they're going to be.
Very interesting.
I think it's going to be a new experience for us, and we should be embracing it.
Right, okay, cool then. Let's look at a couple more then. Saturday the 20th, we've got, from Saturday the 20th, it pretty much hits home every day, football. So we've got on the 20th, it's Watford versus Leicester. I nearly said Wester versus Lotford, but it's Watford versus Leicester. They
Sounds like cheese.
Wester.
That new Wester and Lotford.
I'm in a good mood today, man. I'm in a good mood. This hasn't happened in ages. Yeah, we've got that at 12:30. Interesting. Brighton versus Arsenal. So you've got 2 games in the first 4 days of return, which is the only team by the looks of it to have that. You've then got West Ham, Wolves,
Fix.
and Bournemouth, Palace. It definitely is a fix, obviously. Because I'm looking through this, Liverpool don't have a game till Sunday, the 21st. So they've got nearly 5 extra days.
Yeah, but then do they have like 3 in a short space of time or something?
They've got, to be fair, they've got Sunday, then Wednesday, but then not another game till the following. Then they haven't got another game on here.
Oh wow! So yeah, they're just giving them the league, aren't they?
Yeah,
but they would have had
they've been giving it to them. Oh, making me mad, it is. Sunday the 21st, Newcastle versus Sheffield United. You've got Aston Villa versus Chelsea and Everton versus Liverpool. That's their first game back, is that derby. And then you've got Monday, 22nd of June, Man City versus Burnley. Tuesday the 23rd, you've got Southampton versus Arsenal. And then you've got 3 games in the first 6 days. First 7 days.
So, yeah, it's a bit of a... But taking the mic a bit, I reckon.
And then, yeah, Liverpool have got 2, but in all fairness, Liverpool have 2 in the space of 3 days, but then they haven't got any after that, unless I'm being blind here. Yeah, this is a madness. What?
Basically, the season has been resumed just to fit around their schedule.
Yeah, but by the looks of things, that's what it looks like. I mean, I'm looking through this. United have four games in that first, in the first, I think 14 days.
Yeah.
I think we've actually got... It's us or Leicester who've got the most, I think.
What, are you lot still in the FA Cup?
Yeah.
So I think they released those as well. So
they're on Saturday the 27th of June. So it's us versus Norwich and you versus Sheffield.
Sheffield. Wow.
And then Leicester and then Leicester versus Chelsea and Newcastle versus City on the 28th.
Jeez.
Along with Watford, Southampton, and Aston Villa, Wolves. So it's going to be packed. And to be honest, if you are a football fan, then it's almost like just rub your hands gleefully, and you're going to be able to enjoy the next couple of weeks.
It's going to feel like a World Cup.
Yeah, that's exactly what it looks like.
You know, like when you're in, it's the middle of summer, you got like 3 games a day or something. Very World Cup-esque. And well, this is probably the last World Cup-esque thing we're going to have for a while in summer, because the next one's going to be December. Yeah,
entirely. I think as well, looking at this, I'm looking through United's games, because obviously that's what I'm most interested in. We've got 3 away games in 14 days.
Yeah, but what is away anymore?
It's away. That's what it is. It's a trek.
Away. It's away.
It's away. We've got we've got Tottenham, Brighton away, which is a bit of a trek.
Yeah, Manchester to Brighton. That's a bit of a boot.
And then Norwich away in the cup as well. So yeah, it's not looking too tidy for United, I've got to say. I was quite confident. Now I'm looking at that and going, 4 games in that much time. I mean, obviously it's fun because I get to watch it, but
and if 2 are Norwich and Brighton, then it's like 3 games really. Those 2.5 games.
Brighton are a bogey team for us, man. Brighton always like either scrap draws off us or gets like cheeky last minute goals against us. They're a proper bogey team.
Ollie's number.
Say again.
Graham Potter's got Ollie's number.
I reckon. Well, I mean, we lost to them back to back last season.
Oh wow! Yeah, do you know what? If Brighton do stay up, I'll be very, very happy about it.
Yeah,
they've played such good football.
It's just not come together, has it?
No. And I think you can only expect so much with the caliber of player they've got. But
yeah. Anyway.
We'll see.
So yeah, it's an interesting setup. And what do you think of it overall? Like, do you think they're doing the best they can, or would you say there's different things they could be doing?
Brighton specifically.
Just in general. I mean, as in the Premier League and the FA Cup.
The Premier League. Together. Right. Yeah. Well, I think they've taken their time about it, and I'm glad that they did, because I would have hated for them to make any rash decisions like the French league and just cancel it. But again, we spoke about why perhaps the French league did that with the TV deals coming in next year, etc. But B, also, I'm glad they didn't just get it done and get football resumed as quickly as possible. Like, they took the necessary steps. They've had the 3-4 phases of testing, might even be more than that. So I think if something does go wrong, which is still obviously a possibility, and whatever happens, you can absolve them of blame almost, because they've clearly taken all necessary steps to try and get it back going.
I definitely think I'm similar position to you. I'm happy they took their time with it. I think anything like this, people taking their time is essential in putting things together. But there we go. Out to all the locked in crew this morning. Out to Tom Giles joining us. Out to man like Levs as well. Out to JD Sandy, Papa D joining us. The 3000 base crew as well. Let us know your thoughts on these Premier League fixtures if you are a football fan. For the time being though, we're going to jump into another banger, and then we're going to have a bit more conversation looking at kind of music news and what's going on, and then we are also going to get into Fresh Fridays, and there's some bangers in the tank today, I've got to say.
Yes, there is. I had a sneak peek at the list, and yeah, we got a lot of goodness to come.
A lot of good stuff. Right then, this one coming from Mind Chatter, this one going by the name of Language, really cool tune, this one. We'll be back in a couple of minutes.
Second guess is dangerous. Tell it like it is. My kids should not know language. That shit is toxic. And it's not just what you're saying, it's the tone you put it in. The silence can be draining, the silence can be painful, the silence can be bliss. It's probably just placebo, but still it works the same. Just one touch can equal everything I bled for and everything I made. I'm sorry, I'm excited. I get jitters in my face. Whatever that you lose or you gain or you make, you're the moon that controls the waves. Some of us never have to change. Carried by the wind, it's a beautiful thing not to have an age. Carried by the wind, I swear it's like you don't carry your own age.
Right then, my friends, we are live here on Cubcam TV. It's Brekky In The Cave. Out to all the locked in crew this morning. Please do let us know where you're listening in from, because we've got loads of different things to discuss. One thing, Juki, I would like to discuss with you today, we've seen it popping up a fair bit, is the idea of socially distanced clubbing. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, so I wasn't really too familiar with it until you explained it in more detail earlier. So what is it? Is it One Night Records was the example that you gave? It's a
yeah,
London-based one.
That's the one that I've seen floating around on different channels. Yes.
Yeah. So I've just gone into their Instagram, and I think it does say that they are the first. So it's obviously, well, clearly a new concept. We haven't had to worry about it too much before. But as far as how I think it worked in practice, well, I don't know. You can never be too sure these days. You know what I'm saying? People love the headphone. Is it like the silent discos and stuff like that? So I think you could get. It could be all right. I mean, if you go in groups, are you allowed to stay with those groups?
I don't know. The thing I saw on there is you're allowed to go in with a group of up to 4 people.
Right. So I assume then that group remains like insular, and you sort of go around as as like a joint organism around the rave.
Yeah. So I'd imagine it'd be something like that.
You can't really spread out too much. It's weird. It's a brave attempt, whatever it will be, however they end up doing it, but. Yeah, as I say, how it will work in practice is another story. What do you reckon?
I don't know. I was saying this earlier. I just find the concept of going into an empty club and enjoying it a bit weird.
How do you mean?
Like, because like the energy I get from that club setting always comes from the amount of people that are there. Everyone kind of doing things in unison. That's always been the thing for me. That thing of having a real kind of unified set of people kind of moving towards tunes at the same time. I find that thing of having less people there, I find it quite bizarre.
Yeah, I mean, it could it could work. I mean, I've been to a few raves in my time where there's been less people there, shall we say, and I've still had a good time. So it can work. I think it's about what people make of it at the time. You know what I'm saying? I think I know exactly the type of people that they're going towards as well, trying to lure them in with was it the hidden tunnels and hipster paradise?
Yeah, it is, man. I mean, the thing is, whenever I go past I'm trying to think of the best. Whenever I go past a secret disco at a festival, I'm always there like, this is weird. I always walk past it and go, that looks weird. I don't know if I'd enjoy it. It looks weird. Like that, the phrase, it looks weird. It just flashes in like big, bold, white lettering across my eyes whenever I walk past.
But you know what? Weird is good. I think anything deviating from the norm is to be applauded. And especially in this sense, they've adapted to the times and they've come up with something that could potentially work well. So
there we go. I mean, I've definitely seen it happen with. I've definitely seen it happening with the sort of Dutch stuff. I've seen a lot of Dutch. There's been Dutch festivals where they've kind of like rented out hotels, and there's like different. I mean, it's been different with the hotels because you can have up to 4 people in the room, and then you basically watch a live stream in the room, and each room's like decked out to have a party in.
Oh, okay, right. So yeah, that could work. But you're still basically at a yard, though.
Yeah, that's the thing. And then, but you have like this like comes with dinner and like room service and stuff, and it's almost to an extent it's not really more than anything else. It's not really a festival. It's just a different type of experience. Yeah,
it's just hard to fathom what it would look like or be like when with social distancing measures enforced.
I mean, it
seems like an oxymoron, like raving and social distancing.
Yeah, like raving's a togetherness thing, isn't it? It's about people being together. But yeah, I mean, we've had a question in on this topic coming from Tom Giles. Saying how would it work for promoters booking acts and selling enough tickets, though? And I think it's a very good point. Like, I mean, everything I've heard from the clubs that they've said, it's just not financially viable for us to book acts for socially distanced events.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of the arts that are going to struggle with that. I know personally a few comedians that are trying to get gigs at the moment, but aside from the fact that comedy itself is difficult with spread out audience, the capacity is just not worth it for what they could afford, you know? So again, you could apply that to raves. It's going to be difficult to see how if you sell out half a rave, you could still make enough money for it to be viable. Yeah, that's a good question. I'm not sure. I have no or very little experience in the promoting sphere. So
I think the thing that I would take from it is, would people be willing to spend a bit more for an experience that may not necessarily be as good? Because I think that's what it would boil down to.
And also, I think you've got a bit of a novelty factor at this point because people are fiending for some sort of rave or live music, live event, something just to get them out and some sort of social interaction. So I think right now people would pay a little bit more. Yes.
Yeah, I think people would. I mean, me personally on this one, like, I don't particularly want to go clubbing until it feels like clubbing. You know what I mean? I don't really want to go back into a raving scenario until it feels like raving again, because I want to be hit with that first of like a full dance. You know that feeling when you walk into a full dance?
Yeah, but I think that will be there regardless of whether you go into the early attempts or not. I think when you go back into the full rave experience or full dance experience, like, when you do walk into the dance, you're gonna know about it. Do you know what I'm saying? You're still gonna have that rush.
It's I think the whole thing of it as well. I think it pretty much summarises people trying to carry on what they're doing, but obviously tweaking it to what's currently going on. I mean, how obsessed are we with raving as a nation more than anything else? That we're willing to completely change it entirely just so we can get something similar.
Yeah, well, I think as well as that, it's some of the versus things that have been going on, like the one from Jamaica the other night. That's just a huge example of why we need that live event environment, you know?
Definitely.
The way it just brings everyone together on these shores and others, it's something to behold.
It is bizarre, man, and I think it's something that I don't necessarily know if it translates to other countries as much as it does here, but we're definitely an island of ravers. I think that's the simple truth of it.
Well, yeah. It's been that way since the 90s, even decades before that, but I wouldn't know, that's before my time. But 90s warehouse raves were certainly
the catalyst for the current climate, I'll say.
Exactly, yeah, they set the tone, didn't they, for future generations? So there you go.
There we go. A nice little brief discussion on raving. That's what we like to hear on a Friday. It's a Friday after all, you know. Like, I think I've very much got used to my routine at the moment of literally I'll work as much as I can throughout the week. Come Friday, I'll probably work till about 6 or 7. Like tonight, I've got a live stream from 7 till 8, so we'll do that. And then it's pretty much just have a few bevs and play some games. That's been my Fridays for the last kind of 2 months.
Well, at this time.
Not at this time. What do you mean at this time?
I was going to say, what are you, French or what?
No, I said I'll work till about 6 or 7, and then I'll crack on with some bevs and games.
Right, okay, sorry, yeah, I missed the 6 or 7.
I meant 6 or 7 a.m, my friend. I haven't slept in 2 days. I'm carrying on from yesterday. That's why. I am off my rocker right now. I'm joking, friends, I'm joking.
I don't know, those energy drinks you go through.
Bro, you know, I don't know if I've said this on the show. I haven't drunk any caffeine in coming up to 4 weeks now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've done a full caffeine kick. It's made literally no difference. It's made my sleep worse. But you know why it is, though? It's because I don't get the dip. The dip is what pushes me into sleep.
The dip? Or the hummus or tzatziki?
You know what I mean, though? The dip that you get off not having any caffeine. That dip that's the bit that usually gets me off.
Yeah, that crash.
That crash is what gets me off to sleep a lot of the time. But and it does for a lot of people as well. But because I now don't have that dip, my energy levels just stay higher for longer. So I'm awake for longer.
Yeah, it's just protracted throughout the day.
Yeah, it's annoying more than anything else. Whatever I do, I just can't get off to sleep properly. It's flipping annoying. But anyway, we're not here to discuss my bizarre and unusual sleeping habits. We are going to be looking into Fresh Fridays in just a second. Out to Microboy joining us this morning. I know he does have a track in today's listing. He must have seen the tag and come and joined us. So thank you for getting involved. And as well, hit subscribe on the channel, bro. There's we're here near enough every day now. We're here Monday to Friday, and there's usually content going up over the weekends as well. So make sure you hit subscribe. And that goes for everyone looking in this morning as well. Hit subscribe on the channel. Hit like on the video. We're trying to make this as big a platform as possible so we can get bigger interviews on. We can make some really, really fun things happen. But yeah, if you get a chance as well, share the link via your Twitter feeds or your Instagram feeds. It's going to be a good show. We've got a lot of good stuff on the way. So shall we have a little discussion about what tunes we're going to be playing?
Yes, let's do it. Run a couple by me.
So let's have a little look-see at this then. We're going to be jumping into, these are the tracks you can see on the right-hand side of the screen over there. I've got to fix up my arm so you can actually see it.
Getting your weatherman on.
Yeah, I'm getting my weatherman, and we can see at the top, we can see good showers of reggae. Moving towards the bottom, we're going to see some more housey and grimy flavours later on in the day. But no, we've got a new one from Lynn, who I spoke to yesterday, actually. She's going to be coming on the show next month, which I'm really looking forward to. She's just been signed with Jetstar Records, which is a really, really cool reggae label. So I'm looking forward to listening to that. We've got some new Alika and Big Zoo, really cool tune, that one. Some new Yemi and Tough Culture, which I believe actually hit New Music Friday this week, and it's the first time I've seen Yemi and anything from 440 hit the New Music Friday listing, so that's really cool. That's really cool to see. New Izzy Gibbs, we haven't heard anything from him in a while, which I'm really looking forward to getting into. We've got some Microboy and Yemi Bolatiwa, an amazing tune. We've been running it all week, so I'm really looking forward to getting into that one. Some new Ambush Buzzwell. There's no D on the end. It's not me. It's not a typo, and it's blown. It spins me out that there's no D on the end because I don't know how to say it. Buzzword.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, there we go. Mass on Sunday. That one's alongside gigs. There's new Nadia Rose in the bag as well. I mean, this is a sick-looking week. New Daddy Freddy, new SBK, and some new Joshua UK as well. So really cool selection, really cool listing. I'm looking forward to getting into these.
Yeah, man. There's some bangers there.
It should be a really good one. 1 second before we do get into Fresh Fridays listings, however, I do want to give you a quick word from our sponsors. Obviously, Sharp and Digital, the new official sponsor of Brekky In The Cave. Please do hit them up regarding any of your social media needs. As you can see, they are the alternative to hiring social media managers. They help me a lot with this show, which is obviously popping on a different scale, so you can see they definitely know what they're talking about. But do hit them up and see what you can get going. So let's jump into the first of today's listings. We're going to start off today with this one from Lynn. Really cool tune. Goes by the name of People. Fresh reggae vibes, and definitely something that I think people need to hear at the moment.
Yeah, let's do it. And I think it's always, you always set the tone nicely with these openers. So I look forward to this one.
Let's get into it. Don't go anywhere, guys. We're live on Cubcam TV. Get your comments in. Let us know how you're feeling about each individual tune. We're going to be reviewing each one and throwing it up on socials afterwards as well. So let's keep it locked.
About the babies they're killing, and when it's done, they put religion in front. But it's just a problem with the evil mind. No, there ain't no excuses for taking life. You'll never make it free the way you wanna be. Answer me. See all the tears and the times we're living in. Oh yes, you would have to be blind not to see what's happening all around. Yeah. No, there ain't no excuses for taking life. This is the reality. This is the reality to bring about sobriety.
Flavors on this one coming from Lynn. This one going by the name of People. I believe this one drops via Jetstar Records. Really, really cool new reggae artist that I've found. I spoke to her yesterday actually, and she's not new. She's been doing this for a fair few years. But this has been the sort of tune that's really kind of got her out there. How are we feeling about this one, Juki?
Yeah, love this one. I think it's perfect way to begin the show. As I said, you've got a knack for finding just the right track to set the tone.
Well, thank you, sir. You know what? We're getting another glass smash for that. There we go.
Yeah, no, and I think this one did the job perfectly. I love it.
Really, really cool stuff.
Take this or I take it?
I was gonna give this one a solid 4-5, to be honest with you, because obviously we always have this with reggae. We have this kind of conversation every time that we like reggae tunes that are sort of, they sound like that sort of classic rootsy sound, but also have something unique about them. They stand out. They're not just like a tune which kind of sits in the mix and you wouldn't really recognize it. This one for me does stand out because I find there's some really unique vocal kind of patterns on there. I think the melodies hit some really unique notes, and I think as well the horn sections really get me.
Boom. Yeah, there you go. I agree with all of the above, and Yeah, I mean, this is much more your domain in terms of the breakdown of the music itself, but I can just speak to the feeling that it evokes, and I was vibing along all the way through.
There we go. So we're going to hit this one with a big...
Yo, big 4-5.
There we go, a big 4-5.
Big 4-5.
There we go. We've got the sound effects now. Do you know how happy I am that we have the big sound effects?
Yeah, no, it's good. It's finally here.
We're finally here. It's been long awaiting, and I apologise, friends. That's my fault. I've been lazy with it. So
No. It was just sort of just verbal at the start.
It was just going big 4-5, but we now have our sound effects, which I'm really looking forward to doing. So next up, we are going to be jumping into this one from Alika and Big Zoo. Really cool tune, this one. Something a bit different. It's a cool collaboration to see Zoo on there as well. But yeah, in general, really cool rap tune, this one. So we're going to get into it now. Juki, this will be your one, so pay attention, my friend.
Yes. Let's do it.
Yeah, what? It's legs. I trap hard, that's just fast. Work all night to finesse these rats. Never been soft, forget all that. Fuck with me, gon' get her back. Self-employed, pay my tax. I'm still stuck in all of these rats. I still chill with boys in the hood. I might do like Trey and move back. Listen, rent due for next month, this Saturday. Bills don't stop, so I gotta raise my salary. Tryna buy a yard in my own name with a fireplace. No interest in these breaders. I be flexing on a higher rate. That's you want beef with me, now she playing hide and seek. Come on, they don't wanna let me breathe. Why they won't let me be? Hold on. Don't fake friend with me, no new friends like Jizzy. If he say I'm on his line, then his mom must have named him Lizzie. Liar, tryna have it all, gon' get that. From the clout, I don't respect that. Taking out this year, regret that, but I'm still flying, mine a setback. Know my face, know my name, I'ma be here for a minute. Making waves, run my lane, can't pretend you don't hear this. Living my life. Living my life. Living my life.
B.I. Let me give them something, feel a little vibe. They ain't been on nothing, get it with my guys. I don't do no rushing, patience is the vibe. See the levels you ain't touching, and it's pointless if you tried. I'm one of them brothers that's used to the grind, and I'm trying to make use of my time. Always in the shoe in the night, trying to produce with the rhymes. Trying to give him hits to the hooks, can't dodge that now, I don't miss when I look. Got bare vibes, I take the piss on the coke. Hella flavors that you can't listen your book. So I ain't known in the game. You don't know I live through music. Trying to get home for the game. Do me so I'm owning my lane. Too high, I'm a soul in the game. B.I. man's rolling the game. Take flight, I'm controlling the plane. To the top, man, I told you the aim. And I don't need no people telling me that I'm the man. I'm just trying to make sure that I'm eating with the fam. Cause the ratings ain't converting to no money in my bank. I don't need no rank, I'm just kicking back and giving back.
There we go. We're going to finish up on that one. Out to Alika in the chat. This one is a banger. I've got to say it's a banger.
Yeah, that one's huge. It's my first time hearing it. I decided I'd let my ears wait patiently for the first listen on the show, and yeah, I wasn't disappointed in the slightest. I was very. The thing is, you never know what you're going to expect with a male-female collaboration, and this definitely took me by surprise in a good way. Really, really cool tune, man. I think did her thing, and Big Zoo. That might be the most complete feature verse that I've heard from him. I think he executed it perfectly. Yeah, really cool, man. I think as well, the fact they both bring something that is... It's quite an interesting one, because they both bring something that sounds very them, but also very cohesive to the whole tune at the same time. Yeah, 100%. I think, yeah, you couldn't ask for much more from that. And I think overall as well, I mean, I like the instrumental. I've come to find as well, I'm starting to really almost gravitate towards these. I don't want to call them post-grime, because I wouldn't call it post-grime, but these sort of 150 BPM style instrumentals that people are kind of going over now, more sort of rappy more than anything else. It is, and I think it's conducive to experimentation a lot more. Like, it lends itself to you playing about with a half-time flow or doubling up one time, and yeah, there's a lot you can do with it. And I think this track's a perfect example of that. There we go. So, Juki, it's your rating on this one. Where are we going to go? I'm actually going to give this one full marks. This one gets a 5. This one gets a 5. Here we go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
There we go. It gets the 5. Thank you to Razor, and he always does that. He always keeps going. But yeah, thank you to thank you to Razor for supplying our big 5 button. But there we go. First 5 of the day. We've had a 4, 5, and a 5 so far. So this is looking like a good day.
Yeah, I think that's the first 5 I've given out in a couple of weeks. So yeah, shouts to Alika for putting that one together. Absolutely massive track. Be adding it up to my playlist, and obviously shouts to Zoo because that was, as I say, probably the most complete performance that I've heard from him on a feature.
There we go. Good stuff. Wicked start to the day. Then I'm in a good mood today. Let's crack on then with the next one on today's listing. This one comes to us from Yemi and Tough Culture. As I was saying before, this one I believe is released via 440, and this one dropped into the New Music Friday listings, which is really cool to see. I'm loving the fact there's more kind of UKG making its way in there from what I would call the kind of the UKG underground scene, in the way there's more sort of structured sort of underground label side of things, which is sick to see. So yeah, let's get into this one.
Yeah, let's do it.
There we go. That's what we're doing of that one, coming from Yemi and Tough Culture. That one goes by the name of Don't Tell Me, and that one is actually the Yemi dub mix of that. I believe there's an original collaboration, and Yemi's gone to town remixing their collaboration. So, really cool stuff, man. How are we feeling about that one, Juki?
Quintessential garage. That's my or UKG. Yeah, that's my summary of that. I think we were just discussing off air, isn't it? Is that that traditional sound, and from the moment you hear it, you could play that like 0.5 seconds of that track and it's like, what is this? And you'd know.
Yeah, literally. Those first chords when they hit that doo 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 doo, you're like, okay, I know where we're going.
Yeah. You're like, yeah. Talk about setting the tone earlier. That really sets the tone. And I think, yeah, it's exactly the type of tune you want to be hearing on a day like this. Well, depending on where you are. I'm in sunny Brighton. So yeah, I'm enjoying it.
There we go, man. I'm a fan of it, definitely, man. I really like. In general, I like the way it's kind of put together. I like the fact that more than anything else, it's just so bubbly. I think that's the best way to describe it. Every piece of instrumentation is quite light. There's nothing that's like thuddy. There's nothing that's kind of muddy or kind of just drags along. Everything just kind of skips together.
Skips along, yeah, 100%. You do get that.
And it just feels very refreshing. If I was to describe it as a food, it would be a very well put together sorbet.
I was thinking like candy floss or something.
Yeah, interesting. Oh, that is actually genuinely very interesting, because I wouldn't find candy floss refreshing.
Really?
No, I'd find it a nuisance, because I don't know if that's just me, but it always ends up everywhere.
Maybe not refreshing in itself, but like, I don't know, maybe just
bubbly. I can go with. I'll go with bubbly.
The environment in which you have it, like you're never having like candy floss at like a like some sad occasion, you know.
No, to be fair,
happy times.
you're not having candy floss on a wet Wednesday at Stoke, are you?
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, no chance. It's good times only, good vibes only.
Right. So rating wise on this one, I'm gonna go 4-5 again, bro. It's that sort of a week.
You are in a good mood.
I am in a good mood, and to be honest, I can't think of any reason to lower it. That's the thing. And obviously, I start at a 5 and lower as things go, rather than going like starting at 0 and working your way up. I start at a 5 and work down. And to be honest, I just can't give this anything other than
big 4-5.
There we go. It's going to get the big 4-5. I'm loving these buttons, man. I'm loving these buttons because it means we can have a glass smash there as well, and do things properly. I'm pretending I'm Charlie Sloth these days.
For anyone who doesn't know, the glass smash does have. Sorry, I nearly dropped my phone there. Does have some relevance because it's your trademark production-wise, isn't it?
It is. Yes, the glass smash is my trademark sound, and it's also.
That's it.
I think I've just stolen it from dancehall in general.
Well, yeah, of course. But like when you was doing your remixes and stuff, and that was always the signifier.
There's always a glass smash floating around. But yeah, let's jump into the next one then. It's been a good list so far. Good brand new music from Izzy Gibbs on this one, going by the name of Dogs. We haven't heard anything from Izzy in a while, so let's get into it.
Hey, let's do it.
I don't care if you don't like me, it's a love-hate relationship thing, innit? Or whatever that means, yo. I'm with the dogs. Man, then, with some more. Put to the family, cost. Free my G's out of the box. RIP to everyone I love. Only family, I trust too much love to my people. Coming out of the trenches, fire my blood Rio. I know he a snake, he a Rico. I ain't dying broke, re-up his like the Zenos. Me and my shit come from the abyss. Even thinking niggas in the quits. Disrespect, he's getting shit in a bit. Ripping his lid. I know the 50 and I'm legit. But the pig, I need to free my friends out of bin. Baby, don't you play around with me, See you over there with nails and feet. Baby, I'll go with this cash on me, I feel to run up bands on you cause you ain't cheap. I'm with the dogs. Man, then, with some more. Put to the family, cost. Free my G's out of the box. RIP to everyone I love. Only family, I trust too much love to my people. Coming out of the trenches, fire my blood Rio. I know he a snake, he a Rico. I ain't dying broke, re-up his like the Zenos. Young boss independent, big CEO. I need big checks, hella zeros. For my siblings, I play hero. Disrespect on dishing out free smoke. Laying it off my shit like Figo. Hitting tops, Sugar Benito. Chopping the rock, do it on the Beano. I got shot, just put down my sock. Just threads in a Clio. My bitch pussy tight, it's a keyhole. Nearly lose my life on a D-stroke. See them niggas doing things we don't. Baby face one, going beast mode. Baby, don't you play around with me, See you over there with your nails and feet. Baby, I'll go with this cash on me, I feel to run up bands on you cause you ain't cheap. I'm with the dogs.
There we go, coming from Izzy Gibbs, that one going by the name of Dogs. Really, really cool tune. Something a little bit different from Izzy, but not too different. I feel this is the next step on the path for him.
We're calling it Drizzy Gibbs.
Drizzy Gibbs.
That's a good comparison. I think this has been the road that Izzy Gibbs has been headed on for a little while, down this more melodic rap route, I would say, deviating away from grime, which I think was just his natural progression. I think he, in a similar way to Dot Rotten did, they sort of, I wouldn't say mastered the flowing thing, but I think they got as good as perhaps they could get, if you see what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And from there, it's just about expansion. And you could tell they're both music heads. They both mess with melodies and always have done. So I think for Izzy as well, this was always going to be the natural next step.
Definitely, man. It's really, really cool to see, because he's not just expanding his he's not just expanding like the beats he's using. He is expanding his vocal range. He's expanding the way he puts his flows together. Like it's not just like a 32 a 32 bar of just straight skippiness. He'll stop, start, and weave, and then suddenly drop like a melodic sort of patch, and then move around. It's a very kind of it's a very well structured
That's
approach.
It, yeah. I think his song making ability is what really shines through now, because obviously it started off with the freestyle thing where it's just verse, soul verse, and then he was sort of going to the verse and then a chorus, and the choruses were getting more melodic, but now it's sort of all meshed into one and it gels, and yeah, you can tell that he's worked on that specifically.
Definitely, man.
So, yeah.
It's really, really cool to see. Right then, what are we going to go rating-wise on this one?
Yeah, I think we're sticking in the upper echelon this week. I'm going to go 4-5.
Yo, big 4-5.
There we go, another big 4-5. It's so we've done 4-5. So what have we done? We've done 4-5, 4-5, 5,
4-5.
4-5. This is the best week we've ever had so far.
Yeah, without a doubt, this is the best week.
There we go.
By far and away.
Chat, right now, you are witnessing the best ever edition of Fresh Fridays. Let us know, if you are locked in, what your favourite tune has been so far out of the 4 we have played. We've played, obviously, Lynn with People. We've played Yemi and Tough Culture with Don't Tell Me. We've played Alika and Big Zoo with Life, and we've just played Izzy Gibbs' Dogs. Chat, locked in right now. Let us know which one of those tunes has been your favourite so far.
Are we both in real good moods today?
I don't know. I don't know what it is. But I'm feeling in just a good mood in general today. And I don't know why, to be honest with you. But we've got another banger on the way. So the mood's about to increase. I don't know how much more of a better mood I can get into.
Well, I think as much as we can handle after everything that's been going on.
There we go.
Pump up the good vibes.
So yeah, next up we're jumping into this one from Micro Boy and Yemi Bolatiwa. Now, this is a tune that I've been supporting all week here on the show. It comes to us from Slime Recordings, which automatically to me means it's going to be quite good off the bat. But yeah, really cool kind of blend of UKG and different kind of flavours on this one. So we're going to get into it now. We're live on Cubcam TV. It's Brekky in the Cave. Fresh Fridays with Duke's Guy.
Hey.
we go. Super smooth vibes on that one coming from Microboy and Yemi Bola Tiwa. Really cool tune again, man. It's been I think this might be the most solid first 5 we've done, and I don't think it's going to get any worse as we move forward. So it's exciting times. What are our thoughts on this one?
Good. Yeah, no, I absolutely love this one. Very, very nice vocals from Yemi Bola Tiwa, and this is my first introduction to Microboy.
There we go. I think yeah, Microboy, yeah. Yeah. My first introduction to him, them, her. So yeah, I'm very, very pleased. It's one of those things where, as we were saying off air, like you could imagine it in a montage, and it is that sort of the passive side where you just have it on in the background, you're jamming, and definitely.
Yeah, you could see it going down in a lot of places.
Like a sort of Outlook trailer. That's definitely the sort of thing I could see it on.
Yeah.
Like a post-event Outlook trailer, like looking over like sunshine and stuff like that. It's definitely got that sunshine flavour to it as well. In the kind of in the timbre of everything. I love that word. The timbre of the instrumentation and like the pads and the atmospherics and everything. It's just very kind of smooth. Really, really cool tune. I believe this one's my rating.
Yes.
So I'm gonna go for a, just because I don't think it lifted me up as much as the Tough Culture and Yemi tune. I'm gonna go for a 4 on this one. But that is it's very close to being a 4-5, and the only reason it hasn't is because I feel the Yemi and Tough Culture one got me out of my seat a little bit more. Yeah.
Well, I think that's got a lot to do with the impact of the each instrumental had, because I think the vocal work is very, very good on this one.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. The vocal on this is very special. I think the vocal stands out significantly. And
yeah, not to demean the instrumental is still very good, but it's just a lot more chilled, you know. So
definitely.
It's a lot less captivating in that sense.
I'd say, yeah. Really cool tune. Definitely one that I'm going to carry on playing on the show. I've been supporting it all week. This one is going to get the 4.
You don't want to see the 4.
Well deserved.
There we go. It gets the 4. Out to Killer P on the 4. On the 4-4. Big 4-4. But yeah, let's move on to the next tune on today's listing then. I believe this one comes to us from Ambush Buzzwhirl. Alongside Gigs on this one with Mass on Sunday. So let's get into this one.
Hey, let's do it.
Mubs got beats. It's fun, you know. I didn't think you'd like it, you know.
Globally, looking at Esther's, so up in that kitchen, cooking up extras. And fuck that, I ain't looking at exes, and building up mansions, and cooking up sketches. They know that we like that, but nobody likes that. You just only a mic man, you just roll with your hype man. So I roll with it, cause nobody likes me. They love me and hate me. They hate that they love me. They hug me and rape me. I'm up in the mainstream, all up in their pastry. A couple of cases, that supper was tasty. Harlem and the Rider, hitting with the Joshua, spinning with the Wilder. If it wasn't definitely, then it was a kinda. Killing with the kindness, dealing with the kinda. Mass on Sunday, cash in hand, cash on Monday. Man want beef, man want gunplay. Yeah, fuck that shit. Cash on Monday, mass on Sunday. Yeah, cash in hand, cash on Monday. Man want beef, man want gunplay. Yeah, fuck that shit. Cash on Monday.
Yeah, guns and butter and that. Yeah, you know that we like that. You know, last 12 summers and that. We've been sick for the last 12. My nigga been Joe 9 summers and that. Still got 10 more summers and that. Still got my phone as a contact. That's real nigga shit. That's real nigga shit that was in a contract. You didn't deep it up, you didn't read it, and you didn't mean it. You're nothing like that. You just wanna get high. They don't like me and I know why. It's cause I do my thing, it's not the same when you do your thing, cause you're not that guy. Met her on Monday, made her bust it open on Tuesday. Then she put the packing on Wednesday, and on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, got it done by Sunday. Then I got spun on Monday. Told the gov that they should've come Tuesday. Only look at this one way. It's only snakes and ladders where there's flake and hammers, and we gotta die one day. And it's gonna go another road one way. But you should've just listened what your mum say. Now I just listen what my mum say. It's been a mad weekend, but.
Mass on Sunday, cash in hand, cash on Monday. Man want beef, man want gunplay. Yeah, fuck that shit. Cash on Monday, mass on Sunday. Yeah, cash in hand.
I'm out of breath listening to this one, you know. I'm genuinely out of breath listening to this one. We're live on Cubcam TV. It's Brekky in the Cave. It's Fresh Fridays with myself and Duke Sky. That one, Ambush Buzz Whirl, featuring Gigs with Mass on Sunday. What a journey of a tune that one is.
Yeah, I think I know what happened to the D in Buzzworld. I think they was writing it whilst listening to the song, and then they got to the L, and then Ambush's verse came on, and they just scrapped it. They were like, "All right, I'm done now.
I'm done."
That's it. It's Buzzworld.
I mean, what? I mean, the tune was like fine with Gigs on. You know, it was fine. It was just
it was a head bopper.
Yeah, it was like a like the nice horn structures and stuff like that. But then the second vocal appears, and it just knocks you sideways.
Yeah, as if from nowhere. It is like one of them. Yeah, really gave energy injection to the track. Definitely, man.
Really, I think in general. I mean, this is your rating, so you can take this on.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say with Gigs, I think he's perfected the art of that laid back rap. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So for someone to come in and bring a complete juxtaposition to that and it sound good, I think that's a very good skill in itself.
Definitely, man. I think that it's almost like setting a light to. It's like setting. It was like literally pouring. Gigs was pouring gasoline, and then Ambush comes through and just goes.
Exactly.
And set it on fire. So lively as well. The verse. It literally had me like. I was jumping around the room. I was out of breath when I turned the mic back on. Put it that way, and I'm not exaggerating. So ratings-wise, Dukey, what are we going to go on this one?
Flow down.
Going to go for the flow down. Bro, this is the best week we've had ever.
Yo, big 4-5.
Yeah, man.
There we go. Hit him with the big. Hit him with the big 4-5.
Big 4-5.
Big 4-5. That's what I'm talking about. So next up on the list, I believe, if we are looking through the listings, is Nadia Rose with a track called Too Bad, and it's the clean version, which I haven't cleaned off the instrumental. But who cares? We're live on Cubcam TV. We have Brecknicles all the time. That's what we call them, the Gremlin Brecknicles. So yeah, let's get into this one.
Hey, let's do it.
Nah, I'm a real G. Left all my exes asking why. Hot and cold, such a Gemini. But look close and you'll see the gem in eye. Yeah, I'm a real G. Left all my exes asking why. Hot and cold, such a Gemini. But look close and you'll see the gem in eye. Hi. All about the Benjamins, that money on you. Know just where I be, I got that honey for you. I'm Destiny's child, they keep on bugging me, boo. They watching me, I'm watching you. Don't know you hear over and over, they out of the loop. Hop out of the coop, then we grind at the back of your tube. Strap up a zoo, yeah, my puppy chew. Go low, make me go look. I get crazy, but not too bad. Happy, sometimes I'm sad. Can't handle me, that's too bad. Too bad. I get crazy, not too insane. Wow, but I could be tame. Can't handle me, that's okay. Too bad. I get crazy, but not too bad. Happy, sometimes I'm sad. Can't handle me, that's too bad. Why? Too bad. I get crazy, not too insane. Wow, but I could be tame. Can't handle me, that's okay. That's fine. Too bad. I need a roughneck. Man, didn't go in the sack, they ain't afraid to pull my hair and do the rest of that. Mighty never lack, batty on massive attack. Heart big too, good food like big zoo. I said it's fine, but it wasn't fine, such a Gemini. Read between the lines and you'll see the gem in eye. Look between my thighs and you'll see the ha ha ha. Hotter than Jamaica, then I'm cold like Canada. it's a different caliber. Mood change like dates on the calendar. I mean, he couldn't do it, she couldn't do it. Here come my newest challenger. Before we do the do, I wanna see just how you do. I'm tempting and terrible. Heart black and it's red, that's all rude. Then we bang, give me pew pew, let me go. I get crazy, but not too bad. Happy, sometimes I'm sad. Can't handle me, that's too bad. That's your bad, too bad. I get crazy, not too insane. Wow, but I could be tame. Can't handle me, that's okay. You know what? Too bad. I get crazy, but not too bad. Happy, sometimes I'm sad. Can't handle me, that's too bad.
Sounds of Nadia Rose on this one, something very unique from her. And we were just saying off air there, we really feel that Nadia Rose is very much on her own lane when it comes to the music she's making. She's very like connected to her mainstream sound, but it's hers, you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, we were saying that she's literally running like on a track adjacent to the mainstream and what's real central. Because I think she's developed her own following while staying connected still, which is not an easy thing to do.
Definitely, man. I think obviously she kind of first shot to my attention anyway, doing the tune with Kadeko and George Qualley, which was huge, obviously, at the time. And then we've kind of seen her get a lot more involved in more sort of almost dancehall sort of sounds. We've seen her jump on a couple of other dancey bits as well. And the progression's been really, really cool to see. I'm a big fan of Nadia. It was really, I had the lucky opportunity to speak to her via an interview a couple of weeks ago, which was really fun to do. To hear about her sort of process behind things as well was really cool. But yeah, I believe this one's my rating.
This one is yours, yes. Take it away.
I'm torn between a 4 and a 4.5. I've got to say, I'm torn. Because it's catchy, and that's what's earworming it for me. And I've always kind of put that thing down. If something is super catchy, then it's good, realistically, because it means it's sticking with you. But
you're doing something right, that's for sure.
Yeah. I don't think it's the best thing she's done. Oh, it's a tough one, man. This is the first one I've been kind of stumped on.
We talk about that a lot here, don't we? About holding people to their own standards and these artists that set high bars for themselves. So yeah, don't be hesitant to judge it on that metric. Yeah,
I think I'm going to go for a 4 just because it's not my favourite thing she's done. It bangs. It's very catchy, and the production on it's cool, but it's not my favourite thing she's done. So just for that, I think I'm going to go for a 4.
That's still very, very good result, and I think contributes to by far the best week we've had rating-wise.
Definitely. So let's hit it with a big 4.
You don't want to see the 4.
There we go. Chance to get a P on that one. Stop going twice. It's all going wrong.
No, you wheeled it.
Wheeled up the jingle.
The automatic wheel. He just comes with a pre-programmed wheel now. He's been asked to wheel so much.
Right then, let's get into the next tune on today's listing then. This one coming from, this is going to be a very interesting one. Daddy Freddy, Shumba Youth, Tipper Irie, Blackout J.A. and Top Cat, all on a tune together. This one going by the name of Why Did You Do That? Now, this sounds like it'd be a dancehall tune, doesn't it?
Yeah, it sounds like it'd be an event.
It'd be a festival stage.
Yeah, exactly.
But let's get into this one now and see how experimental it is.
Yeah, Mario. Yeah, you violate the thing, Mario. Violate the thing. Yell at them to the boy, like go around the sun. Rob nobody and thief nobody and beat up nobody and you know, kill one another. See me, I say, empty never stop, my lad. Come and ask you something, Mario. Over and over again, you get warning and warning. Real warning. You see me? So if you ask you, say, yo, why did you do that? 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 Why gonna put yourself on through that? Why did you do 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 that? Me not eat the joking thing. Me not eat the laughing thing. Me not eat the skinty thing. Me not eat the smiling thing. Me not eat the shaking thing. Me not eat the up thing. Me not run up to get to dig. Big future thing. Oh, I mean love all the one of them labor. Run up them out. Them big. None of them are fine and none of them are big. My yo, the grave you are the art. Why did you do that? 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 Why gonna put yourself on through that? Why did you do that? Why did you do that? Why did you do that?
Whoa, there's many choices in life, you better pick one. Bad boy will lick off your head just in an instant. See we not take no talk, no me not
Why did you do that? Why did you say that slavery is a choice? Why did you do that? Why did you make that come out of your voice? Why do you do that? Why do people do the things they do? When you do please make sure that you just think it through. We're all guilty. We all do things that we all regret. It don't matter if you're dumb or if you're intellect. Now why would you do that? Why would you take a gun and kill your friend? I have to wonder what the bloody hell is wrong with them. Now why would you do that? Why would you walk around with a knife? Why would you do that? Why would you walk and take your brother's life? Why did you do that? 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 Why are you gonna put yourself out through that? Why did you do that? Why did you?
Right then, we're going to finish off there. There's still two more verses, but I think we. I don't want to be biased towards this one, obviously, because we've been playing around 2.5-3 minutes of all the other tunes, and this is a 4.5-minute tune. So let's keep it fair.
Leave something to the imagination.
Yeah, of course, you've got to go and listen to the tunes yourself after this. Let's be real here, people.
Exactly.
So, what we're going to be looking at next is this tune. So, really cool lineup, something very different, not what I expected when I first opened the tune.
No, and I see why you hit me with that question. You'd expect it to be a dancehall tune. Yeah, it was a definite variant on what you would expect, but wow, I enjoyed it.
Definitely, man. I think the instrumental does a lot of the work. I won't lie. Yeah. I think Shumba Youth's verse on this one is. I mean, you saw me on the camera. I've got gun fingers flying into the sky. It's a tune. If I heard it in a dance, it'd be a tune that I'd expect to hear reloaded. You know.
Oh, 100 at least 3 or 4 times. I was gonna say I wouldn't want to be near any large crowds when that one drops.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Unless I was in the right state of mind to start flinging elbows.
Because limbs are going on this one.
Yeah.
I was gonna say this one's your rating, so let's crack on.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. What can we do? You've called me in with another upper echelon rating. I've just got to decide which direction to go. I think I'm gonna go full marks again, you know?
You're going to go for the 5. We're going to go for another 5.
Yeah, just because I was already getting ready to enjoy it, but then it came on and it had that the instrumental had that grimy feel to it. And it didn't try and do too much. Like, it played its part, but it was still very, very much a standout. I love that beauty and simplicity with that kind of instrumental.
There we go. So we're going to hit this one with
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5.
What?
There we go. Razor's going. I can't get him to stop early. I don't know what it is about that sample. One day we'll get it, but there we go. Really cool tune and
you shan't be tamed.
So we've got 2 5s. So we've got nothing below a 4, I think, which is amazing. No. The majority we've got an average of 4-5 this week, which is this is definitely a record show. So we've got 2 more to play. This first one coming from SBK, who has been very active during lockdown.
Oi. Yeah, I believe this one is the self-produced one as well.
Yeah, so this is what I'm liking to see. We've seen it with Toph as well. We're seeing a lot of people almost utilise this lockdown time to kind of go, look, I'm going to get myself into a position where I can do everything myself.
Yeah. Well, I think that's as you've demonstrated in recent times. That's the best way forward.
I'd agree, man. Let's go. Let's go with this one then. SBK on New Flex. Myself and Duke Sky. We are live on Cubcam TV. It's Brekky In The Cave. Let us know how you're feeling about this one, my friends.
Man's on a new flex. All you care about is weed and sex. All I care about is money and checks. Wanna keep my family in check. I'm a big man, bruv, you man expects. We ain't got time to stop, what's next? I've been on missions, I've been on treks. Let me bust a new flow, give me 2 seconds. I wanna be up there with the stars. Where the top niggas there in the dance. So remember, when I have barely a chance, I practice a lot, ain't fair with the bars. I have to be strong, I stay up my past. I have to move on and not hide my scars. Back then, family, I had a lot of shame. I don't need gas to look like a car. I won't hold your drink to look like a bar. I'm still closing in, see me from far. I'm still supposed to spit like I had a bad taste in my mouth and I didn't like it like also it's lit when I chat to my brothers. I'm also to speak them, I'm milking others. Think you can buy your way to the top, my G, but you can't put that on your mothers. Man's on a new flex. All you care about is weed and sex. All I care about is money and checks. Wanna keep my family in check. I'm a big man, bruv, you man expects. We ain't got time to stop, what's next? I've been on missions, I've been on treks. Let me bust a new flow, give me 2 seconds. Started off with a crappy laptop. All the talking, I'm happy that stopped. I make bangers and my habitat done. Back then I had the packs gone. Back then I used to look into rinse. It was the heavyweight bars that I rinsed. You ain't reaching the levels by an inch. Life is a dream, don't give me a pinch. If an MC breaks down just like a car breaks down, I'm a real nigga coming with a winch. Little prick get punched in the chin. Gal them there, I got hundreds of things. S to the B, man I know now. Used to be a kid but I'm growing now. I got the lyricism that I so loud. Listen to the rhythm and I zone out. Man's on a new flex. All you care about is weed and sex. All I care about is money and checks. Wanna keep my family in check. I'm a big man, bruv, you man expects. We ain't got time to stop, what's next? I've been on missions, I've been on treks. Let me bust a new flow, give me 2 secs. Man's on a new flex. All I care about is money and checks. I'm a big man, bruv, you man expects.
Right then, sounds of SBK on this one with New Flex. Really cool tune. A tune I would describe as classic grime, I would say.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'll tell you what I need with that. I need 2 things. First thing, I need a net video with nothing but the lyrics on screen written in a basic Word font. and then I need someone to send me the MP3 via Bluetooth. And then that will really put me in the zone, because that shit was, that took me back, man. That's classical grime sound.
Proper classic, man. It's definitely got a nostalgic vibe to it, and I think as well with the instrumental, it's got that. The instrumental's really, really choppy, but I find that in a good way. You know, it allows him to kind of find these sort of rhythmic pockets in between, and obviously SBK comes with quite like a stuttered sort of bar for bar approach, and I think this sort of instrumental, obviously, because I think it helps that he's the one now producing for himself, because it means he can make the instrumentals that work best with his sort of vocal approach.
100%. I'd love to chat to him about that and see if it is as you go process, or whether he's just lacing the tracks like post beat being made. Because I think it's really woven together well.
Yeah, really well.
Last few releases.
And I think as well, the cool thing with SBK is obviously he's very much in a position now where he's doing a lot of the things for himself. He's like very active across all of his socials. He's got a new track out every week or every 2 weeks at the moment. Yeah,
he's well, you've got to give it to him, one of the most active at the moment, and he's attracting some big names for features. I know he's got some stuff coming, so yeah, all praise to him, man. I think he's a perfect example of what happens when you grind.
Okay, cool. Right, I'm going to give my rating on this one. I'm going to go 4. I think for a classic kind of grime tune, I think 4 out of 5. This pretty much hits the nail on the head for what it is. I like the approach he's taken. I like the fact that he's not trying to be something that the tune's not trying to be something it's not, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and that's the thing. I think he's sort of come to the realization where I am who I am. I make my own sounds, my own music. So, and he started to talk his shit a little bit, which is good as well.
Yeah, definitely, man. I like that. I like the fact that he has found his pocket, shall we say? He knows what he can go over. He knows what he can really excel over, I'd say.
Yeah, 100%. Well, I think he came up at a good time when there was a lot of role models musically for him to look up to and sort of follow on from. And I think he's done that very well.
Definitely, man. All right, then we've got one more tune to go then. I need to hit it with this.
You don't want to see the 4.
There we go. We hit the 4 from Killer P. Thank you. We got one more tune. Oh, we haven't even heard the 3-5 yet, so we may not ever hear the 3-5 sound by the looks of things.
That's so jokes. Yeah, first week of the new sounds, and you only get to hear a couple.
But we've got
what it is.
We've got one more tune to play, and it comes from someone called Joshua UK. Now, this is a tune I heard floating around on New Music Friday. It's something a bit different, but I feel this is going to be a bit of you, Juki. I've got to say.
Oh yeah? Where's it from?
Well, it says Joshua UK, so I'm assuming UK.
Yeah, sorry.
So that went right over my head there.
Let's go. Let's get it.
Your sarcasm in the morning, it just flies straight over my head, and I answer every time, and I sound like an utter idiot.
My bad.
No, I'm with it. Let's go.
Do it.
You can see I'm getting excited over this one as we chill out this morning with some smooth flavours. This one coming to us from the wonderful Joshua UK. Smooth flavours. Is it up your street as I predicted, Juki?
Yes, yeah, that is up my street. It's a little bit of a feel good vibe to that one. I think it doesn't have to be a complex melody, or you don't have to be switching it up all the time for it to sound good. I think there's a beauty in repetition sometimes, and I think you found it there.
Definitely, man. I think as well, it's those Latin sort of piano flavours in this one that really do kind of make you go, yeah, this is, yeah.
100%, yeah. That Latin influence is what captured me.
So yeah, there we go.
My rating,
this is your one. Yeah, I was going to say it's yours, and this is the last rating of the day. So this is an interesting one.
The last rating of the day. I'm gonna go 4 actually.
Going to go 4.
You don't want to say the 4.
Yeah, I think that's a fair shout.
You don't want to say the 4.
Shut up, Killer P. There we go. I need to work out how to do these so they run once and don't just keep looping. But there we go. We've got our listings. 4 on that one from Joshua with La Vida. So we've got a choice to make.
Ooh, yeah. Well, I think you've got a choice to make.
I have got the choice to make.
Mine.
So it's between what were the 2 tunes we had up there again?
It was Alika and Zoo with, was it Life?
Yes.
And the
Daddy Freddy, Shumba Youth, the masterclass in dancehall in dancehall grime. I think out of the 2, I think Alika and Big Zoo's one hits me harder. I've got to be honest. I think that's the. I think overall, as a cohesive piece of work, the structure on it, the fact that both vocals balance off each other really, really nicely. I think for me, that's a tune that I'm going to be running for a while. It's got a very kind of classic. You know what it is? It's a classic. It's a classic Trickstar playlist tune. I've got to say.
Yeah, definitely. I think you'll be hearing it. Yeah, a lot of places, to be honest with you, because it's got that adaptability to it.
Definitely, man. And I think in general, I think more than anything else, I think the fact that the Daddy Freddy tune is 4 minutes 50 long, which I'm not too mad at. I just think the verses, that it's a little bit too stretched out for me. You know, I think it.
Carl, you were moaning last week about the song was too short. Now they're too long.
No, but I mean, if you've got that many people on a tune, I think the verses could be 16 bars rather than 32, and then a 16-bar chorus, and then like a 16-bar bridge in between each verse.
I see what you're saying, but maybe they had some extra bars they wanted to get on.
Right, let's all throw it onto this one tune. Let's crack on and put it all on this one, then we're done. We don't have to do anything else.
Yeah.
There we go. So we've got our winner. We do have Alika and Big Zoo winning this week's Freshest Fry Award with Life. Congratulations to them on winning this prestigious, incredible, untouchable, outrageously good award. An award we presided over now for coming up to 2 years. Here on Fresh Fridays. So there we go. We get a glass smash, we get an explosion as well, and the applause finishes there. There we go. That's it. That's us done.
Yeah, we'll have to make sure that we're keeping a note of all these as well, because we won't have the Trickstar playlist to look back on.
Oh, don't you worry, my friend. I have got a big folder.
I'm sure you have. So when it comes to the end of the year, right?
That's the point. Actually, we do have to go through and give that. We did we give the Freshest Fry of the Year award this year?
Yeah, I think we did.
Yeah,
we'll have to go reconfirm, but if not, then
because it'd be quite bad if we didn't give a Freshest Fry for a Fresh Friday winner.
Yeah, well, we'll have to check on it and
have a little look. Okay, cool.
Correct it if not.
Right. So, what have you been up to for the rest of the day, then, my friend?
What have I been up to for the rest of the day?
What are you up to for the What are you up to earlier this morning?
For the rest of the day, well, it looks like we've probably got 2-3 hours of sun left before the clouds get the better of us. So go out, do a bit of exercise in amongst that, and then I think settle in for the evening. What about yourself?
Yeah, man, I've got a live stream coming up this evening, which should be good. I'm judging the winners of the Neri Vice remix competition over on 3000 Bass. So you can check that out on their Facebook page. I'll be going through all the remix submissions, giving some feedback on them, and choosing the winners, basically. So the ones that will get included on the release, and we're doing that live. Something else I wanted to point out as well, we do have a Black Lives Matter EP being released today on South Point. You can grab it on Bandcamp. As it is Bandcamp Day. All the proceeds will be going to Black Lives Matter related charities. It's a wicked compilation, as I was saying earlier. We've got some amazing names on there: Bush Baby, Movement, Hamdi, Mooney, Drumwork, Dunman, Days Prism. I don't want to forget anyone, so I'm going to bring the image up because that's really annoying if I do actually forget people, which I quite clearly already have done. As well as that Weagle, Devious, and myself and Dubster. So it's a really cool lineup. Make sure you do go and grab that release if you grab anything today. It's all going to a very very necessary cause, I believe. So make sure you grab that, and then we'll be back same time next week with some more fantastic shows.
Yes, we will indeed. Catch you then.
There we go. We're going to finish up now then, friends. Don't go anywhere. We are live on Cubcam TV. It's been Brekky in the Cave. Fresh Fridays with Duke Sky, and we'll speak soon.
Always a pleasure. Take care, bro.